Welcome to our home. We're Jill and Charles, and we live over the river and through the woods on a forested hillside in Vermont. We've been sharing videos about our off-grid home build here for 3 years now, and I'm relieved to say that the pace of projects has finally started to slow down. Slowing down doesn't come naturally to either one of us, but we're trying really hard to do that this summer. We have some good role models in Raven and Pandora who seem to enjoy the new porch as much as we do. Stick around to the end to see the first time they ventured over the threshold to check it out. But I'll tell you who has not slowed down, and that's our local wildlife. We came here hoping to get to know our non-human neighbors, so we take every opportunity to see what they've been up to. Let's start with the family of eastern phoebes. They seem to think that Charles built the whole porch just for them. I couldn't quite film into the nest from either inside or outside because it's way up here under the peak of the roof. So either this pair is smarter than the phoebes that lost their eggs to predators on the back of the shed last year, or else those same birds have learned from their mistake. I finally had a chance to get a good look at them on a day that was really hot when the chicks were just about ready to leave the nest. And then there are the black-capped chickadees who took over the lower bluebird box this spring. You can't tell which parent is mom and which one's dad, but they're both working their tails off in this heat to keep their brood fed. I knew I didn't have much hope of catching the actual moment that one of the little guys jumped out of the hole, but I did get lucky enough to see one of them peeking out the doorway to the great big world outside the box. I was right about them wanting to ditch their little hothouse because the box was empty by the next day. While the chickadees were raising their brood, I bought some black oil sunflower seeds, and I put a few at a time on top of the nest box. The chickadees would take one seed at a time and fly up to a tree and eat it or maybe cache it to eat later. About 1 week after the chickadees had fledged, I heard a crash outside the yurt, and I looked out the window to find a bear cub had just knocked over the nest box for the handful of seeds on top of it. Fortunately, it ran off like a bear is supposed to do when it sees a person walking toward it. But that was the end of my birdseed experiment, because having a bear associate people with food can lead to some pretty bad outcomes for everyone involved. But speaking of bears, we do actually love seeing them on the trail cameras. Right now, there's one downhill from the yurt at an intersection between two trails that go into the woods. And the other one is up here at the top of the hill where you can actually see the yurt in the background. So I'll stop talking now and let you see for yourself who's been hanging out here this month. Last but not least, let me introduce you to a little neighbor who seems to appreciate the new bridge to the porch. The first time I found this American toad around the backside of the platform, I picked it up and relocated it, thinking it was there by accident and that it was in danger of falling off the edge. I discovered my silly mistake when I found the toad was returning to the same spot every night. It waits until darkness falls and positions itself where some light from our kitchen escapes from the yurt. Then it sits there completely still until an insect comes by. I don't know if this toad is male or female, but I do think it needs a name. So if you have one in mind, please put it in the comments. Or if you like someone else's idea, you can vote for your favorite there too.